And welcome back, everyone, to game number 2 here between Nvidia's Moonglade and Complexity Trimaster. As we jump into game number 2, we are going to be on Daybreak here with Trimaster taking game number 1, in which was a very action-packed game. Let's see if we can see the same for this one. As we jump into the game, we have Moonglade down here at the bottom left as our purple Zerg, as we do have him going hatch first, of course, and at the same time, we have up here at the top right, we have Complexity's Trimaster being our green Terran. Now remember, Trimaster played really greedy in the early game. He went 1 Rax into Expand, into a 3rd Command Center, and then went Cloak Banshees. The Cloak Banshees didn't do much. Looks like he's going to do the same thing this time as well, as he's banking up those minerals up here in the top left right-hand corner. But either way, after that last game, Glade, I feel, didn't transition out of his Ling Baneling all that much. He got a really good condition in when he first traded, but then he got so gas heavy that he really couldn't do anything about it, and he couldn't trade effectively near the end as well. So let's see if we can see the same difference, some different play coming from him this time, and see if he can bring it back. What do you think, Railkin?
He had the opportunity to switch out of it, and then he got aggressive, and then felt like since he lost his army, he had to just rebuild it, and didn't want to take the risk of dropping tech. So he kind of just got stuck in a rut of every time he lost his army, he was too afraid to drop the tech. And it was almost like he was playing chicken with himself after a little while. It's just not something you can keep doing for that long. And I mean, I would assume him to play a little bit more normally this game. That's definitely not a usual style of play from the Zerg player. His expansions were a little bit slow for that kind of thing as well. His upgrades weren't as fast as they could have been. Like, I don't think he was planning on doing that just pure Zergling Baneling. It's just something he got cornered into, because if he had been planning on doing that, his build would have looked pretty different.
Yeah, very true. We do see, looks like he's just sitting over here, maybe going for, looks like Trimaster maybe going for that command. Why am I mental blanking? Engineering Bay. There we go. Block again. But of course, Glade ready for it this time, as last game he did delay his 3rd quite significantly. He's not sending a drone out there just yet. Of course, he is getting his extra queens, no gas on the way. And Trimaster again going for this same style of going for that quick 3rd command center.
The reason why that engineering bay was even able to go down in that last game was because of the fact that Moonglade got aggressive with his first several Zerglings, tried to trade with the Marines in the natural, and that left nothing to defend his 3rd base. This time they stayed back in his 3rd, caught the SCV and killed it, and now he's going to go into the natural with the Zergling to see what he can find. There are two Marines here, so they will go down, but this means that his 3rd base is going to go down exactly when he wants it to this time. He's not going to be delayed, and I think that's part of what caused the problems last game for Moonglade. He was trying to adjust his build order on the fly. We're just having a really hard time with the timings because of that.
Yeah, very true. At the same time, we do see this reactor finishing up, so we're going to see some Hellions on the field very shortly. Didn't do all that much for Trimaster in that last game, but it did allow him to keep that map control. And as we saw from him, his style was play a little bit greedy, then play safe, and try and trade effectively. And it ended up working. He was able to secure his extra bases, Moonglade wasn't. And because Glade went for the constant trading, the good control from Trimaster actually managed him to squeak him out into the lead. So we do see, of course, we're going for the same build here again. Looks like we're going to see some more Banshees coming out. Not really a fan of the Banshees a second time, especially after they were shut down so easily in the last game. But we'll see what Trimaster wants to make of it, shall we?
Yeah, there hasn't been an Overlord in here this time, and he has sent some Marines over here onto the left side to try and catch the Overlords before they can come in and scout. So he's trying to deny that information so that Moonglade just won't see it for free and kill it immediately, but he's going to come pretty close since there's only the one Marine that's on a big patrol path. I don't think he's going to kill it in time. He's actually going to see the cloak researching this time as well, which could be a benefit to Trimaster because he'll realize he gets scouted and could just cancel it. There's a pretty good chance that once this Overlord dies, he'll cancel the cloak, move on to other things, and then it won't be as big of an investment into the Banshees as it was last time.
Well, we do see double upgrades are going to come in here from Glade in a second because he's got this Evo Chambers.
Oh, these Hellions.
Whoa, yep, Hellions at the front. They're taking quite a bit of damage, actually. You cannot go toe-to-toe with those queens, especially since the transfused energy is going to be so high. And
he's not canceling cloak.
Well, we'll see what he can make of it. Of course, we've got Spore Crawlers at every single base, but there's always a spot to park your Banshee and just be frustrating anyway. As we do see, do we have a lair? I didn't see it on the production tab. No, we don't have lair on the way just yet for Glade either. So It's going to be an interesting position here. Did Glade see his command center moving across? I'm going to assume so, considering it came from up here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he saw it.
Well,
it just doesn't show on the when you check their vision. If it was floating, it doesn't show on the fog of war.
Yeah, but I was just looking at the flight path. But anyway, with this creep spread moving out quite nicely for Glade, he's going to get ahead in the supply. Looking here, we have 73 workers already to 50. And he will be able to start slamming out a lot of units very shortly. And in the positions here, it's going to be a lot easier for him to put pressure on that third base. And can come in at multiple angles, get a flank on Trimaster's army if he sits in the middle here at the same time. Well, we get a lot of Hellions and a couple of Banshees over here. Looks like he's going to be coming forward into this third base. But there's so many Queens, I don't think it's actually going to make a difference.
Yeah, the first Queen was already the first Banshee was already deflected, but now there's a second one with it. And you might be trying to just draw attention with the Hellions. Oh no, he's actually just going to come forward and kill all the creep tumors with the Hellions and Banshees. The Banshees are actually pretty good at killing creep tumors. You can see they go down very quickly. Hellions are not. You got to kind of line them up to get the best shots. But he did take out a lot anyway, and now he's trying to fry the other one by shooting the rocks. He's going to come pretty close, but the Zerglings are going to come out and stop this shenanigans.
Oh, he's actually going to get a surround on the Hellions too, because Trimaster was not paying attention at the worst possible time. And that is going to give Glade a huge boost of confidence in this game, because now he can take map control quite nicely. He doesn't have to worry about his Banshees because he's got Queens in... There's, what, 7 Queens out? Yeah, there we go. And
yeah.
He's got 1-1 finishing up as well.
He's got the Infestation Pit coming much faster. His third base timing is much more comfortable for him. If you look at the worker count, he's already up at 80, much faster than he was in the previous game. So he's just a lot more comfortable with his build this time, and I don't see him getting into that situation where he gets trapped on Zergling Baneling like he did in the previous. He is ahead in the upgrades by just a little bit like he was in the last game as well, but these two Banshees are trying to circle around, find some angle of attack to do some damage.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen here, though, unless they would just want to pick off on that that extractor bit. Oh, taking quite a bit of hits on one of those Banshees. Of course, there's double Spore Crawler in this main. He has seen the Hive being morphed as well, though, so that's a big tell for him. He has that third command center already ready. He's got a bunker there to defend it. And this is looking like a much better game here for Glade. Looking as his creep spread moves forward, he's already into the Hive. He's got pathogen glands on the way. He's going to have infestors out. Even with Trimaster's really good control, looking at the army count here, he's still even with Moonglade right now.
If you look at what Trimaster has right now, there's nothing he can do about the Hive. He can't really punish him for going to Hive this quick, because his Marines are only just starting to pour out now. This build of Trimaster, since he adds all of these barracks really late and then puts a reactor on all of them, means that his army doesn't actually exist until pretty late in the game. So Moonglade is being quite a bit more greedy. He's realizing that Trimaster is really relying on the Hellions and Banshees just to have some form of map presence. And this Hive is going to finish up here in a second. He can go straight into whatever Hive tech he wants without having to worry about it too much, because he's got a lot of Zerglings with a bunch of Infestors backing this up. This is a really good unit composition just to buy time for the Hive tech. And he's got really good map presence with the creep tumors as well.
Yeah, he certainly does. We do see the Ultralisk Cavern on the way now as well for him. 2-2's going to finish up in a second, and as soon as he maxes out, he might only just wait 1 or 2 minutes to get a bank significantly up there and then move forward. He's now got this 4th base up here at the left. However, he does not see this group of Marines coming forward. They have 1-1. They do not have 2-2 yet, but he can target down the hatchery if he wants to, and it's going to come down to Glade reacting really quickly. There we go. He's bringing his units now, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. And did we just see a transfer? No, it was actually an inject lava, but barely gets away with those Marines.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh my god. Hang on. The Infestors from behind are actually taking a lot of damage from these Banshees, but he did get a bungle off on them. So that was very close for Glade. But yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just sacrifice those Marines for the hatchery.
Yeah, me too. I thought he was just going to right-click on the hatchery and just take it down. That's not a lot of Marines, and he is at that point where he's producing them really quickly. Those Marines are replaceable. It's not like trading those is really bad like it is earlier in the game, this build order for Trimaster. So I was certain he would trade it, but he decided not to. He's playing it safe, and that could come back to bite him. Because now the mining is not very interrupted for Moonglade. Once his natural finishes mining out, he can send all the drones up there immediately. Trimaster has been using a lot of scans to take out these creep tumors, but he's also scanning the army. He sees it's still just Zergling, Baneling, Infestor, but that's a lot of Infestors, and they still have a pretty good amount of energy, so he's got to be pretty careful about positioning his army. He cannot get caught with his tanks unsieged like he did like 3 times the last game.
Yeah, very true. We do see a few more Marines coming up to try and target down this hatchery. We do have spine crawlers, but is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. The hatchery goes down, and he gets away He does take a couple of hits there, but he also sees the Ultralisk, so he had no idea that was going on right now. Glade does have a nice bank, both of them maxed out here at the moment. It's going to come down to how well can he trade with this. There are already... Oh, he's actually unsieged with a lot of these tanks as Glade comes in. Nice fungal on a lot of those Marines. This is not what TriMaster wanted. He's now getting a lot of hits, but these tanks targeting down the Zerglings rather than the Infestors here. And that is working out beautifully for Moonglade. And now he's kept all of his high-tech units alive. He's kept the Infestors and the Ultralisks alive. And now he can move forward. There are Marauders being mixed into this batch here. But at the moment, it's going to be difficult to actually move forward here because of the fungals. Oh, we got to see a fungal on all these units. There we go. Oh, the Infestor's getting a little bit too close, though. And he does get an Ultralisk at the same time. And he's going to force a... Actually, this planetary is already up and running, so that's actually quite unfortunate for TriMaster. He's going to get a couple of these Ultras, though, while he's... Well, like, trade a couple of Ultras for a planetary. Not all that great, but yeah.
He's got a good amount of money, but he's short on gas right now, so he's got to be careful with these Ultras. He can't give away too many of them. He's in a reasonable spot. He can reproduce the few that he has, but he needs to get the gas geysers back up and running, which is why I'm surprised he doesn't have one up here on the 5th base in the center, because gas is what is really limiting him, and if he got that running, he'd be kind of covering that since that is a rich geyser. So, just possibly just a little...
Oh, Infestors in the middle of the map. He just lost 2 of them to those Marauders. Really nicely done by TriMaster. But right now...
That was not very good, but this Ultra's gonna die too. He just kind of gave it up, left it for dead, and like I'm saying, his gas isn't high enough to really be trading that many high gas units. He's gonna be dumping the rest of it into these Banelings. He's still in a good position, but he needs to stop losing expensive units. This is recoverable. His 4th base is back up, and he's mining the gas there. So he's going to be able to start rebuilding everything. He has a greater Spire on the way, and he has forced TriMaster to invest a lot in these Marauders. So he is in a good position to move forward, do a good unit trade, roll out with the Broodlords, and catch him completely off guard.
And TriMaster has not been able to secure a 4th base just yet, and that is exactly what Glade wants. He's actually going to have a drop to deal with in the middle of the line of this extra base. Going to be cleaned up eventually. Yeah, but TriMaster really just wants to get these extra bases up and running. He's mined out in his main. He's going to be mined out very shortly because of those mules anyway, a lot quicker than Glade will be. We're going to drop in the main as well, coming in. And it's actually going to probably take out quite a bit of these units, but he's going to... Oh, he's sitting on top of the Spore Crawler. That's not a smart idea. And it's going to be cleaned up with the Queen staying alive. Can be transfuse themselves to keep them on the high health in case it comes through again. We got this drop coming back in.
Yeah, on the 5th base, but there's not many drones here, so this isn't actually doing a lot. We saw that Moonglade wasn't really utilizing this a whole lot. Now he is using the rich geyser there just to cover his shortage in gas. And we've got a few more replacement Infestors. He's starting the air upgrades, so he's getting ready for that Broodlord switch. And this drop is going to get caught by some Infestors here. It looks, I don't know if he will fungal that and then drop the Infested Terrans. No, it doesn't look like he's going to. And there's no units in the main base to deal with this, but he's kind of busy right now since he's skirmishing with the tanks in the center of the map.
There's also a Marine in this 5th base. There's also a drop coming up to the 4th one. And because there's a Marauder in the mix there, it's going to take down those Spine Crawlers quite quickly, and they're drop in the main at the same time. So TriMaster in 3 different spots. He's also engaging in the middle of the map. And this is going to put Moonglade's multitasking to the test here. He's actually losing a lot of Queens and a lot of Spine Crawlers at the top. He has deflected all of these extra drops. But I really liked how TriMaster didn't actually overcommit in the middle of the map. He has scanned, seen where the army of Moonglade is. He's coming back into the main with these units. He killed... no, he didn't kill the Queens at all, actually. That was really nicely done by Moonglade, keeping those alive. Oh, he's going for the...
He's not splitting his army at all. He's starting to do it now. But his entire army was moving around to deal with each of these drops, which is why it was doing so much damage. He will clean this up, and one of the Queens will go down, but... that is successfully bought TriMaster a lot of time. He's got the planetary fortress up in the center. He's gotten a lot of mining out of it. And this is really just going to come down to Moonglade needs to find a good situation to switch in the Broodlords, because that's his best opportunity right now.
Well, he's probably going to lose this base at the top left-hand corner here now, as there are 2 Marauders. That's going to go down very quickly. I don't think he's going to be able to anywhere near in time. He's trying to get on the outskirts of this sensor tower, but the Ultras can't squeeze through. But here he goes. He's going into the 3rd base now of TriMaster. He's got an extra planetary fortress, an extra orbital command there, and TriMaster now forced to pull back. Looks like he's... Where is he going? He's going up to his natural, as he's going to lose all this. He can just lift it up here, and that's a wise choice here by TriMaster. Remember, he did lose the hatchery.
Mined out as well, so like that's not the biggest loss for TriMaster.
Looks like he's going to try and cut him off as he comes out here. tanks are in a position. They're coming forward. We do see the Ultras come forward as well. He's actually got units coming from the right-hand side as well. Banewing's rolling in, but the tanks are not being able to clear it out. There's a Thor there as well, and that is actually a really nice trade here for TriMaster. Remember, both of them have quite a big bank right now, so it is going to favor Moonglade in the reproduction facilities. He's going straight into Broodlords now, and TriMaster does not have a response for this. So with this transition, Glade is going to take a really good lead. He's stopped that third base mining. He's taking out a lot more units. There's a lot of Marauders coming up here now, though, and that's going to be dangerous. He needs to get it out before he gets caught, but no, he looks like he's just going to trade these units, throwing down some nice fungals, but the pure amount of Marauders is just shredding through these Ultralisks.
Yeah, if he could have gotten those Infestors out alive somehow, it would have been really good for this upcoming Broodlord switch, but that was just going to be really difficult to do. He did trade quite effectively. Most of the army for TriMaster's down. He's going to be hesitant to really get too aggressive here besides the drops, which he has been continuing this entire time. This medevac, which has been dropping around everywhere, is finally getting low, but the queen count is actually pretty low for Moonglade right now because these drops keep killing the queens. His hatchery is quite low as well, but he will see the Broodlords with this drop and is now switching into the Vikings. So that's really good job by this drop staying alive a little bit longer to get that crucial scouting information, because up until then he was still slamming out a lot of Marauders and wasn't really making any Vikings.
Yeah, very true. But Glade is still sitting on his 5 bases quite nicely. Going into this transition is really going to help out. He can go just push down the middle, I feel, because there's so many Marauders here, and he's going to have, what, 9 Broodlords, probably a few more with the extra Corruptors coming out.
Why is he still making the Marauders 3 at a time? Like, he saw a lot of Broodlords. Unless he's expecting Broodlords and Ultras at the same time, these Marauders aren't really going to be doing a whole lot, and he's still investing pretty heavily in them.
Well, we got another drop coming up to the top left-hand base. Again, we do see another Queen go down. That's going to put Moonglade's Queen count at 3, which is really frustrating for him. Oh, the Fungal missed! There we go. He gets it that time with the vision on the high ground. Luckily for him, we do see Corruptors coming up now as well. And Glade trying to take this bottom left, this base down here at the bottom right. And it's going to be an interesting position. This sensor tower doing wonders here for TriMaster. He sees him coming forward. He sees the speed of these Broodlords. Where are the Vikings? There's 4 Vikings. He's going to have another drop going down here to the top left as this comes forward. He's going to lose this sensor tower, but he does have Thors here, remember. And he's going to come forward with these Vikings. He's actually going to pick up one of these Broodlords before anything else actually happens. And luckily enough, there's enough bio here to really... Oh, he's actually stimming underneath, trying to go for those Infestors with the Marauders at the front. The Baneleys aren't going to do anything against that, and now the Infestors are out of position. The Vikings are able to go to work, and the Marines are actually moving forward underneath the Broodlords. The Zerglings were out of position that entire time. He's lost all of those Infestors, and now Moonglade just lost a ton of resources. He can't push forward any further. He's down to 4 Broodlords. He was really out of position, and now a drop is going to come into the top left-hand base again.
Yeah, the Zerglings were up there dealing with that, which is why they were so far out of position. If they were in position, I think that would have swung completely in a different direction.
Yeah.
Because Moonglade's army was in a decent spot. He just had nothing to deal with those Marauders. And if there were any Zerglings there at all, it just would have bought time for the Infestors to be able to kite away from the Marauders, and that's all he really needed. He killed all of the Vikings, so like that wasn't really the biggest issue. He hasn't really rebuilt many of the Broodlords though. He's still only on 4. He's remaxing on Zerglings and Banelings, replacing a few of the Infestors as well. It looks like he's just going to try and stick with his Broodlord Corruptor and just make more ground units to cover it, because with more ground units in better position, that fight would have gone better. But now the Viking count is getting out of control. He's making 4 at a time. This is getting dangerous. TriMaster's at that point where he could win the air battle if he can avoid the fungals. That's going to be the main thing. If Moonglade can get a really good fungal on the group of Vikings, then this will go in Moonglade's direction.
Well, TriMaster knows where the entire army for Glade is right now. He's also got a drop. He's going to that hatchery is going to die again. And Glade was gassed up for quite a bit now. Both of them are maxed out yet again. TriMaster really relentless with this drop, but he's actually going to have a hard time defending this planetary fortress down at the bottom right. Glade is in a nice position. He's spread out quite nicely as well. There's 4 Broodlords, and that'll be enough to just force a reaction coming in here. But we do see this drop. He's actually coming in and taking out the middle base at the same time here.
Oh my god.
He's got a drop coming into the main as well. He's actually splitting up these quite nicely. Is he going to go for the
spawning? Are out of position as well. The Broodlords are just going to get blasted unstable.
We do see him coming forward. Glade forced to back off now. And this drop in the main, I'm surprised he's not taking down the spawning pool. Probably just reactions elsewhere, as Glade is forced to completely retreat, not able to do much here. And this, I think, is where it's going to start swinging into TriMaster's favor. Glade is now on 0 mining bases.
Yeah, I mean, he's just had a really hard time. He hasn't been able to deal with these drops at all. They are all consistently doing large amounts of damage, forcing him to have to pull back significant portions of his army. When he isn't doing that, he's changing his rally points. So these fights in the center aren't going very well because he's not able to reinforce them.
Yeah.
Because he's having to use his rally points to defend against the drops, which is not optimal. And it allows the drops to do more damage before those units pop out. Now the Broodlords are too far forward again, almost getting caught. But not quite going down. He's still only on the 2 Broodlords, so at this point he's basically just a ground army with a bunch of Corruptors.
Yeah, we do see, of course, the tanks moving forward. Oh, getting quite a few hits off, and now these Broodlords are going to get picked off. Remember, Glade still does have a nice bank, so he can live without these bases for a little bit of time. He's got that 1 here, and that's going to be finished up quite quickly as well.
It looks like Moonglade's thinking about just circumventing the army completely, but I don't think Trimaster will go for that. He's so far in a really good position as long as he doesn't allow Moonglade to go for...
Oh, but here he comes. Well, a lot of these tanks were out of position here, and there's the Thors are actually going to work on the wrong type of units. Amazing splitting coming out here from Trimaster. He's going to keep that planetary alive, and the Vikings are going to work on all of these Corruptors with the Thor back, and that has swung completely this game into Trimaster's favor. It looks like he's going to go and 2-0 this match here. And Glade has been putting up a great fight this game number 1, and this one has been even more impressive. But he just can't deal with the drops that are coming through.
No, like, Trimaster's just outclassing with the multitasking. Moonglade can't keep up on 3 different fronts at the same time. And, I mean, that's got to be coming from Trimaster's time in Korea. Like, it seems like he was using it pretty well. Because he's outmaneuvering Moonglade, basically, and that's what's straight up winning him in the game. He's trying to switch back into Ultras, but there's still quite a few Marauders and Thors on the field, so I don't see that working very well, as both of those are quite good at taking out the Ultralisks.
Yeah, and he's going to lose his top left-hand base again. And as we were saying, he's going to try and come through the middle here, but we do see reinforcements, and the production of Trimaster has been top-notch this entire time. We do see a lot of these units are going to drop, especially within range of that planetary fortress. And now Trimaster's in such a strong position. There's only this 1 mining base now for Glade, and it's going to be the one with the least mineral patches possible, as it looks like he's coming in. Glade is coming in with all these extra Ultras, but the tanks are there, the planetary fortress is there, and we got reinforcements coming down. There are a lot of Marauders at the same time. Trimaster's coming in with his main army into here, but he's going to get a lot of Fungals. No, he's actually kills the infested before the Fungals go off. And now he's trying to repair this planetary as best he can, but he's not going to be able to keep up with the damage coming out. He's going to lose all his drones in the middle of the map. I don't think the Glade can really keep up right now, and he needs to trade a little bit better. He really wants to get that production down for Trimaster, but he's out of money at the same time. Both these guys pretty much out of money. Trimaster up in upgrades, the planetary down here. Nice Fungals by Glade, actually, taking out a lot of SCVs down in this bottom right, and that's the only mining base for Trimaster now. So if Glade can trade...
He's trapped in the corner now a little bit. The Trimaster is in a really good position to try and just sandwich this army down here.
Oh, the
Zerglings!
Zerglings!
Have to fight. And he is in a good position to take on this army with all these Marauders and Thors. If the tanks siege up as well, Moonglade's going to be in a tough position. He cannot fight right now, and he's aware of it, but he's stuck back in the corner. He's got nowhere to run, unstable.
Yeah, we got an extra command center coming into the middle here for Trimaster. He still has these command centers lifted. Glade needs to win this fight and win it significantly, but I'm not sure how well that's going to be. He's in range of the tank fire now. He's decided he has to go for it. Fungals go down, but these Thors and tanks just shred through all those Ultras, and that's just going to be way too much. The army evaporates here for Glade. GG comes out, and Trimaster will take the series 2-0, but that score definitely does not reflect these games via Relkun. So we will be right back with our winners set. It's going to be Trimaster against Lucera. Let's see if Trimaster's TVZ is good enough to take down Lucera. We'll be right back.